These 7 sales steps created over $500 million of new business. Many sales teams are closing less than 20% of qualified opportunities, and they're making one critical mistake that's costing them millions in lost revenue. I'm Paul O'Donoghue, the CEO and founder of SalesStar, and over the last 20 years, I've worked with thousands of salespeople to help them double their conversion ratio. In this video, I'm going to give you the exact 7-step framework that's been responsible for generating over $500 million in additional revenue for our clients. And by the end of this video, you'll have a complete roadmap to 2x your conversion rates without being pushy, without discounting, and without those sleazy tactics that make everyone cringe and feel uncomfortable. This is the 7 C's. The first C is going to sound like a contradiction, but stay with me. To become a master closer, you need to stop selling. I know it sounds backwards, right? Here's what 20 years of coaching high-performing salespeople has taught me. The moment the buyer feels like they're being sold to, their brain switches into defense mode. Their guards go up, and your chance of closing has just dropped by 80%. Think about it. When was the last time you bought something off someone that made you feel like a target? Never. Instead, top closers position themselves as trusted advisors. They become consultants, not pushy salespeople. At SalesStar, we have a simple definition of what consultative selling is. It is enhancement of client profits. So if you can help your clients increase revenue, reduce costs in ways they've never thought of, or unlock value that they've never seen before, they won't just buy from you, they'll ask you how to get started. Here's how this works in practice. Instead of saying, let me tell you about our features and benefits and pushing your product, you say, help me understand where are you now in your business? What are your objectives? What are your goals? What are the challenges and roadblocks preventing you getting there? And how does that impact the business if that doesn't get resolved? Instead of saying our solution can do X, Y, and Z and doing a features and benefits dump, you ask what would happen if we could resolve this issue for you. This way, the prospect starts selling themselves on the benefits of resolving this issue. They become the #1 seller because they believe what they say. They don't trust what a salesperson says. Like a doctor, you diagnose before you prescribe. If you present too early, you're in danger of being a pushy salesperson and you're just showing up and throwing up. Let me tell you about the day I doubled my conversion ratios without changing a single word in my pitch. So early in my career, I was really struggling. Not because I didn't know the product, not because I lacked skill, it was because I didn't fully believe in what I was selling. I would lose the sale before I even started. I would walk into meetings thinking, this is too expensive for them. They don't really need this product. They're happy with their incumbent. So when the prospect said it's too expensive, I'd completely fold because deep down, part of me agreed. And I was searching for evidence to support my story. And then I learned something that changed everything. Closing is a transfer of confidence. And the first person you need to sell is yourself. I got obsessively clear on the value. I calculated the return on investment, collected case studies, I interviewed happy clients. I started to show up with certainty, with swagger, with ground conviction. And that's when everything changed. My confidence soared. My conversion rate doubled, and I built an 8-figure business. If you're not 100% confident that your service or product will deliver results, why should your prospects be? Your confidence or a lack of it is contagious. When you believe, they believe. When you doubt, they doubt. So before you try and close another deal, get really crystal clear on why what you do matters. Because confidence isn't just a nice to have in sales, it is everything. The third C is about making an offer that is so good, your ideal client would feel stupid saying no. I call this the Don's offer. We make them an offer that they just can't refuse. Most deals aren't lost because of price. They're lost because the value wasn't clear. Here's what most salespeople do wrong. They lead with features and they hope that the prospect connects the dots to value. That is backwards. Instead, you need to stack value so high that price becomes irrelevant. Here's the framework. First, package your offer using good, better, best. Most people buy the middle offer, but having 3 choices makes them feel in control. Second, stack in bonuses that cost you little, but add massive perceived value. Third, create urgency, but not fake urgency. Real urgency based on their business outcomes. When the upside is obvious and the risk is minimal, buyers move fast. And fourth, anchor your price to results, not features. Instead of saying our software costs $10,000 a month, say for less than what you're losing per week through inefficient processes, you can solve this problem permanently. When the upside is obvious and the risk is minimal, buyers move fast. C4, clear offer structure. Confused buyers don't buy. They hesitate, they stall, they ask for more time to think about it. And 9 times out of 10, they say no. If your offer is cluttered, complicated, or unclear, you're making it hard for people to say yes. Here is the fix. First, offer no more than 3 options. Good, better, best. That's it. Second, outline a clear onboarding process. Show them exactly what happens after they say yes. Third, just make it ridiculously easy for them to get started. Remove every possible point of friction. And fourth, use case studies to show real-world results fast. Remember, complexity is the enemy of conversion. When buyers see clear value and understand exactly how it works, they say yes more often and make decisions faster. C5, clarity on their buying process. The 5th C is mission critical to doubling your conversion rates. You must control the sales process. Keep control. Here's where most salespeople lose control. It's after the discovery call. They send out a proposal and wait. They then follow up and become serial stalkers. They get ghosted and all of that time and effort goes out the window. Does that sound familiar? Here is the critical lesson. Never ever send a proposal. If it's a high value deal, present it in person or over Zoom. You've spent time and money creating the lead, meeting for a discovery and putting the proposal together. Proposal is the final stage of the sales process, the most critical, and we need to control the delivery. Be able to read their body language and answer any of their concerns. Furthermore, between the discovery and the proposal, days or weeks can pass, and all of that buying emotion you stirred up, it dissipates. Pain you uncovered just doesn't feel as urgent anymore. Instead, you need to control the delivery of your solution. You need to get all the decision makers in the room. Reactivate their buying emotions. Walk them through your recommendations. Handle those objections in real time and get buy-in on the next steps. But here's the key. You also need to understand their buying process. Ask, how does your company usually make decisions like this? Who else needs to be involved? What's your internal approval process? Map out the journey to yes so you don't get blindsided later. C6, commitment. Closing isn't one big yes at the end. It's a series of micro commitments through the process. Top performers don't push for the big yes straight away. They guide prospects through small yeses along the way. The more yeses through the process, the more likely they are to say yes at the end. C7, conditioning. Don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training. Most salespeople are under-rehearsed and overconfident. Elite salespeople, they practice like their income depends on it, because it does. They rehearse objection handling so they don't look like deer in the headlights when they hear it's too expensive. They role-play discovery calls to perfect their approach. They condition themselves before the real conversation. If this video helped you think differently about closing, imagine what it could do for your entire sales team. The 7 C's work, but it all starts with mastering consultative selling. That's why I've created a free guide to stop selling and start consulting. It is the complete playbook to transform from a product pusher to a trusted advisor. This is the exact approach our clients are using to double their conversion ratios and half their sales cycles. Click on the description, download the guide, and start having conversations that actually convert. Don't get left behind. Because your competitors are already making the shift,